to me because.
Oh, we're at $200, dude. So let's go. Yeah, figure that.
Alright, so we got the Astaroth versus Hilda.
Yo, green on green.
Green versus green.
In the forest, which is normally green.
And they're fighting for that green, which is the pot mode that everyone was so generous enough to donate to. Oh wow, this is gonna be a lot of damage. Does he know to tech it? He does not know how to tech that combo.
So you could say that Rikuto is green at the Hill matchup.
Yes. And that damage making him feel green with envy. Alright, I'll stop.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's my turn. Alright, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I gotta figure out other definitions
green
of green. Is that it? I think that's it. That's I can't think of any other ones.
We've exhausted all the pawns. There are no more pawns for the color green. Well, TIs are green, but yeah, I don't know. That's not really a pun. Nice throw there from Rikuto, though, looking to make a perfect in this round.
Hopefully the Hill player doesn't realize that we're on a green screen right now. That was okay.
Unfortunately, Apple Boon dropping the combo, but still doing a big grip of damage. Rikuto not knowing he can attack backwards against that.
Yeah, definitely not having a good time understanding what kind of pressure strings and what kind of setups that the Hill player is going to be able to pull out. But if you hit somebody with 6 speed, it doesn't really matter what they can do, right?
Yeah, it's a big grip of damage.
Yeah. We're on up 2A, huh? And again. So it seems like, okay, so that's why he was doing 2A, because he wants to set up the situation where he's going to be able to do, like, his slightly slower Oki kind of situation. So I'm curious to see how long it takes for Rikuto to realize that, and how long it takes him to realize that Hild's back turn is mid-low. Ooh, okay.
Wow. Into the obsidian drop.
We're just throwing kitchen sinks at each other at this point.
Yes, we are. There we go with the forward throw. Does not casting correctly. Rikuto gonna close it out with the 2K. I do like that Apple Boom that she's going for a lot of these tech traps, or these tech situations where Rikuto isn't teching correctly.
Oh, for sure.
And acknowledging that, hey, you didn't guess right. They're not even gonna attempt to go for a different combo route.
I do also like the fact that Rikuto is kind of trying to match fire with fire and going for like unblockable setups of his own that would not necessarily work out in certain situations. And I also wanted to mention, did you notice how Rikuto's response to having his A-B blocked is 100% different with Apple Boom than it was with Yin, because Yin didn't respect it at all and Apple Boom respected it entirely, but never mind what I was talking about. So it's going to be Apple Boom going up 2-2 in terms of rounds, and unlike all the other situations that we've seen Rikuto in, he doesn't necessarily have an advantage going into the last round.
Yeah, I think Hilda, her soul charge isn't fantastic, just in terms of like, it's kind of just like string extensions and stuff, but so I think just a lot less meter usage in general, able to keep that option available to Apple Boom.
Do you know if Hild is good with guard pressure?
It's okay.
Because I saw that Rikuto was in yellow by the end of the last round, but maybe that's not accurate. Ooh, nice whip punish.
With the Mata.
Okay, so it was definitely heavily leaning on the guard pressure, especially with like the ring. Oh no! This could be huge. And it wasn't.
Oh, like disrespect.
Oh, for sure. Definitely tons of disrespect now, because it's red. But you definitely have a bar to deal with. Never mind.
Yeah, so that hell sweep that Hilda has is actually range dependent on how much damage it does, and I think Hilda was at the tip range of the move, so it actually didn't do enough damage to kill Astaroth there, but still able to secure the round. Great stuff to Apple Boom.
I did not actually know that thing that you just said.
Hey, that's why they don't pay me.
Yeah. As I like to say at my job, that's why I get paid the medium bucks. When in reality, I actually get paid like next to nothing.
Dang, unfortunate.
But enough about you. Let's talk about me.
And yet he finds it in his heart to just throw 50 big ones at the match arena.
It's chiefly because I'm not particularly bright.
I was going to say it's because you're so generous and kind, but
no.
Okay.
I'm very much unkind. You can ask anybody who knows me.
It's true.
Yeah. Alright, so a similar stage in terms of walls, but very dissimilar in terms of space. Rikuto generally likes space, but he doesn't really have any of it right now.
Yeah, it looks like Rikuto, he's trying to tech to the side.
Yeah.
Against that that tech situation there. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the correct direction to go against. But I don't think Apple Boom minds that at all. That's a whole lot of damage.
the boom lane?
I'm not sure if she is. I don't remember.
I do not see her name, so won't necessarily have to worry about this in the boom lane. But still probably pretty important to know at least something about this character. Allows her to power up entirely. That just gets hit by insect.
Yeah, that's one thing Hilda can do. If your opponent is trying to just like space you out of your soul charge, you can just take that time to get your Regalia arts.
Yeah, not a bad. Probably would have been a bad idea on the previous stage, but you got plenty of room here to just like, okay, well, if you're all the way on the other side of the screen, there's no way you're going to be able to punish this on time.
Oh wow, and the soul charge extension on that command grab doing a big grip of damage.
Like how Astaroth Rising, having a tough time with the connection is my guess.
Yeah, I like how Astaroth says what time it is, and like what he's about to do to you, and then proceeds to clean you up.
Yeah, he's definitely been a chronologist as of late. A big fan of time. Ironic considering the fact that he's the youngest character in the cast.
Yeah, he says things like cleaning time, time to die.
Yeah. Does anybody know what time it is?
Yeah.
School time. That's normally the answer.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So going with the big guard pressure. Oh, with the hitbox extending over, even though that's the first part of the scene. We're going to see the correct direction tech? No, we are not. It was a lot of damage.
Yeah, this effectively means that Apple Boom is just going to get this combo every single time he deals with Rikuto. And there's no reason to change it, right?
Nope. Oh, and I like the multi-hit breaking through the armor.
Oh yeah, a little bit too much clutch on Rikuto's side there. He was able to take advantage of the fact that it was a little bit of a scrambly situation that neither of them really expected. So the concept of the multi-hit thing kind of went away from Apple Boom's mind.
Ooh, I like the grab. You're gonna get it with the back throw repositioning.
So are we spending bar here? We're not. So we're spending bar here, right? And now we're gonna spend bar, and now we're gonna spend bar, and everybody's gonna be really excited. There it is.
Hey, Jay, wow, you're really good at commentating.
Ooh, sometimes. Well,
with the clash working in Kudo's favor there, gonna complete the string and take game number 2.
I know you were saying that the soul charge isn't really all that powerful, but I don't know. Was I wrong? I really feel like bar should have been spent.
So I feel like just because the soul charge isn't like one of the better soul chargers in the game, still like the knockaway and the reset to neutral is still a very, very good thing to have in that situation. Yeah. So it's still a great option to do, just to reset the neutral.
Yeah, I can definitely see that sort of thing. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that the stage has been switched, and I believe that Album is going to want to go back to something that was a little bit different than what she had in this last round, where the stage was huge, so it's probably a pretty good stage.
Definitely doing better on that smaller stage. We're kind of going back to here. Okay. Fishing for that wall rising launcher again. Getting so much work done with it, but a run-up throw from Rikuto. Again, picking up the whiffs. Great GI timing from Apple Boom. Ooh, and the disrespect with the shoulder tech. That does tech crouch, so it's going to be a decent tool to disrespect some of those highs that Astaroth likes to throw out. And here we go with the big damage.
Yeah, Apple Boom is looking to be a little bit jumpy in certain situations. This is one of the things that Rikuto is best at, is effectively just kind of like wearing down his opponent in terms of just mental stamina. So we're going to see which one is able to run out first, either Apple Boom's patience or Rikuto's life bar.
Yeah, and I really like how Apple Boom is being very patient because a lot of these strings just kind of waiting, taking her turn, and then disrespecting at times where she feels more comfortable doing so with something like a tech crouch with like that shoulder tackle.
It's pretty good in a set like this, but it is important to note that that kind of thing, what with the fact that there's not really a whole lot of flexibility with that strategy, it can be a little bit easy to spot. So it's going to be a matter of Rikuto's going to be able to pick this up, but it might be difficult what with the fact he's being overwhelmed by the amount of options that he doesn't know that he'll have.
Yes, and going with the forward throw again. Definitely kind of taking advantage of the respect that Apple Boom is showing.
Yeah, very like we were talking about before, very different than what Yin Crescent was doing, where it was no respect anywhere, and Alpha Boom is all respect everywhere. Oh, it gets a soul attack gotten rid of, and Alpha Boom's in red guard gauge too. So this is going to be tough now. No resources, no meter, less health.
Okay, still not out of it yet. Popping the soul charge does. The Astaroth is a character that has a lot of ways to break your guard.
Yes.
Oh, the great from Alpha Boom, the timing and the patience there. But this is going to be a guard break.
Yeah. Well, it's better to take this now than when it was going to end the entire... is that going to be a ring out? No, it's not. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
We
That
just,
kind
just didn't block that.
Yeah, looked like she was trying to like roll back, but there was nowhere to go because the stage is small. So yeah, getting a little bit too impatient now. You can definitely see a lot more running up, potentially going to be running into more strings, not getting hit by them, so there's that.
Yeah, I think Rikuto's being more patient and kind of sidestepping to avoid that wall rising launcher.
Well, also just to avoid Apple Boom just in general. Like, this is the thing that Rikuto is really good at, is just like wearing the opponent's patience down.
Oh, wow, that has so much range.
So for instance, when you run your opponent's patience out, their attention is a resource, right? They can only pay attention to everything for so long. So for instance, when you run your opponent's patience down, they get, I don't know, hit by something like that.
Mm-hmm.